hapon po. Thank you for being so extra courteous. Ordinaryo lang po ako na tao. I was just a mayor of a small town city in Mindanao. And I really do not know. But Dante has been my friend for a long time. And both of us were really surprised that wag ho kayong magdadalawang isip, lalo na kasama ko sa gobyerno. Tapos na ako dyan sa politika. As a matter of fact, I give you my commitment now, my word of honor, that if you can craft the federal setup in 2-3 years and have it decided in the affirmative by the Filipino people, I will step down. Because it will provide for the election of a president. And surely, I should, for reasons of delicadeza, talagang bababa ako. And that would end my political career for almost 40 years in government. Alam mo kasi noong eleksyon, well, of course, tapos na yan. You know, yung lahat na nakatindig doon, we're giving their programs of government, projecting what will happen when they are elected. And it was good. But there was really one very important factor that they failed to realize, to take into account. Mindanao. In Mindanao, there is a rebellion. Hindi lang ninyo nakikita, but there's killings every day. Pati yung Maote. Ang problema ditong Maote, because I'm sure you know what's happening, CNN and BBC is there. There's a lot of killing, a lot of fighting now in Aleppo and Mosul. Once the ISIS loses its landmass, they will scatter all over the world. But the ideal place in Asia really would be Indonesia. Not because the Indonesians are cooperative with them, but Malaysia and the Philippines was the biggest number of Muslims. In Mindanao, para malaman ninyo, what is happening there is really the Moro nationalism. Because they lost their land with the arrival of the Spaniards for 400 years. They sat here, governed, sometimes with brutality. Now, they also brought in their cannons, their gunpowder, which the natives really in these islands could not match. And so, they were able to conquer even Mindanao. Pero peripheral lang yung kanila, hindi coastal. For example, like Zamboanga, they built the Fort Pilar to stop the inroads of missionaries coming in from the Middle East down to Malaysia, Indonesia, and to the Philippines. Nagsuswing ang balance of power noon. But with the Americans, after Spain lost the war, the Spanish-American War, the Philippines was ceded to the Americans like a chattel. Well, anyway, this stayed there for 50 years. And in the process of pacification, they committed a lot of atrocities, which is really natural in any colonial system. Like the German, Italians, British, the Americans, they forced their way into the Middle East, killed all the tribal leaders there at the time, and enjoyed the fat of the land, and that was oil. So when they finally decided to make city-states, and really from the cities and parang municipio, they carved out Iraq, Iran, and it was just a matter of You know, sila-sila yun eh. And the Arabs accepted it because they were subdued and suppressed. Dito ganun rin. In the pacification, I said, a lot of people were killed. And that is why, you know, before the arrival of Magellan, 100 years, nandoon na yung Islam. That is why hindi mo magkayang i-overrun kasi may poste sila doon eh. They're being Mindanaoans, they're being Imoro. Tawag sa kanila, yung mga Moors ng Europe. And they are still fighting from the Spaniards to the Americans and this Republic of the Philippines. Kaya makita nila yung mga sundalo, yung mga special forces, in the different camps. Sabi nila, Mayor kasi ang tawag din na sa akin doon, Mayor, we will talk to you. But we will not negotiate with you. And the reason why ang access ko doon is that, you know, I have more blood. My mother is a Mestiza Maranao. And my son, yung vice mayor ngayon, married a Tausug Maranao lady. So I can go to them inside, talk to them. Wala kaming problema. Wala naman sila makuha kung papatay nila ako. They will just inflame the whole of Mindanao. Ngayon, nakita ko dito, walang nagsasalita about Mindanao. God, I'm telling you, I am not forcing you to believe me. But listen to me. Laki akong Mindanao. I've been mayor for 23 years of Davao City. Once upon a time, congressman, kasama kami ni Joy. And we were the group doon ng mga left. But there were 10 of us actually voted for Arroyo. The rest kay Villar. But the leftists doon sa Congress on kami. And I do not deny coming from the left. Anak lang ako ng mahirap eh. And you know, your dimensions sa boy as you grow up with so many people taking advantage of power, influence, at hanggang ngayon, hirap talaga. And because that is the inequality of our society. Now, kung walang federalism papasok sa Mindanao, we will lose it. I don't know how much blood should still would happen. Basta sigurado ako, magulo yan. So walang nagsasabi sa kanila dito. Oh, so what about Mindanao? We suffered explosions in the church, in the international airport, in the land transportation terminal, sa barko. And recently, sanay na kami ng ganon, kaya pagputok nung sa plaza, linis ka agad, tapos na, parang walang nangyari. Just like Israel, it comes naturally to us. Okay lang yan. We can bear it because we know there is a conflict. But to talk about the next generation, ay, nako. Either we lose the island or there will be, to maintain the sovereignty, quote and unquote, we will have to invest more money for more lives, bullets, and all. Kaya, ang isang importante para sa amin is really federalism. The only thing that I do not agree with them, with their proposal, is because they wanted an autonomous regional armed forces of the Philippines by the chief of the PNP. That's our basic. Hindi talaga ako papayag. You know, maybe someday, my words would really sound stupid and insignificant. But for as long as I am president, I have to say something. The negotiation, whatever the talks could come later after my term. So anong sinabi ko dito, wala na yan. It's of no moment. But sinasabi ko lang ngayon sa inyo, ang totoo. No, ayaw ninyo maniwala. Sige. Basta sinabi ko. The important thing is that as a president, it is my duty, sworn duty, sacred duty, to tell you and maybe to protect the race in the days to come. Yan ang isa dyan. Then, baski sa power, you know, you have duty. Pareho kayo tayo sa Marawi. Lanao Lake is there. Maria Cristina is just beside a fence away. And yet, yung elektrisidad iikot sa national grid. And they pay huge amounts. Sa kanila yan, noon, kagaya ninyo, enjoy yan. Kayo yung original na. Do you know why you can really say that you are the originals? Because you cannot invent dialect. Yung forefathers natin, and we can talk it parang it's so natural that flows out of your mouth because they have perfected it for centuries. Kayong sabi nilang tasaday, totoo, hindi nila yan. They were attacking Marcos. Totoo talaga yan. Yan mo mga cave tribes, because you cannot invent dialect. So kung may mga tao dyan sabihin nila, bago ito, this is a new tribe that we have not discovered, and they have their own, you cannot invent all the years, down the centuries, sabihin mo talaga, oh, what is this? Sabihin mo, kanino? So those are connectives which cannot develop. Takes about centuries. So inyo yan. Makita mo dito ang same sa Marawi. You have a sort of a hatred there na hindi talaga maalis. The only way is to go federalism. Payag na sila. The problem is, pumasok ang extremism. It was at first, so that you'd understand everything, a Moro nationalism sa lupa niya, Mindanao. So the advanced civilization, a lot of Christians, we outnumber them, pero sila, minority, and they've been reduced to things like, just like you. The classic example really is what federalism is all about. Is dapat ang national government wala nang pakialam except to govern, see to it that everybody is doing their duty, and they are governing in accordance with the federal constitution. That's about it. Then you pay salaries there, you contribute to the national upkeep, to maintain the office of the president, pero the bulk of the money collected should go to your pockets. Dapat talaga, ideally, something like you give 30 or even 25%, then you retain and you operate your own resources. So, i-connecta mo niya dito diretso, there is no need for you to go to the national grid. Or if you decide, Bicolanos, that we will maintain it, then you can fix the price. But for as long as this is the kind of setup, you know, unitary type of government was invented by the colonials. So you have one throne there, and that is why Manila continues to lord it over us. Sila lang yung magsabi, and even politician man tayong lahat. Totoo lang, prangka-prangka tayo. Sino namimili ng presidente? Sila lang. How many people would gather in one room in Malacanang? About 4 or 5. Then they select. Ganun na nangyari over the years. Ayaw ko na lamang pangusino, pero ganun. they would voice a candidate ito, kay popular, ganon, kay ganon. God. Tapos pagdating ng araw, walang ginamputan ako hindi mag-corrupt. It's all corruption. The one way of pulling us down is ang talaga ng pera na ito. Nasasaktan talaga ang tao. Actually, takot lang but yung komunista, because they injected violence in their campaign. Had they persisted on the lawful mechanics of democratic society, they could have improved. Sigurado, by that, si Governor Congressman Salceda, magkasamay kami sa 11 Congress na. Yung din ng mga left, di tatakbo. And it would have been different. Kagaya ng Socialist Party, kagaya ng British, or for that matter, France and other countries. I am sure that by the dimension of a political setup in a society, kaming dalawa ni Congressman Salceda would belong to the socialists. And you have the conservatives. They want to stick to the original. And the conservatives really are for just the way they are. Maintain the status quo. I have the socialists, they want radical changes. Well, the communists, ang problema nila, there was a partido ng bayan. I don't know if Joey was there, but I was there on Bebot Belio. Nung pumasok ang hardcore, sabi ko, kalukuhan to. You know, I'm in my own, because anak kami na mamahirap, meron kaming dimensions. It's just an ideology. But you cannot impose that sa kagaya ko, presidente ako. I have to govern what is correct. The raucous now between me and yung panel is that they want 130 political prisoners freed. So, nagdebate kami ng tagal. Pati yung peace panel, pati si Bebot, sabi ko, no, I will not give it to you. Maubusan ako ng baraha. By the time na we have the grand finale, you'll just give me the coup de grace. Kasi wala na akong bara, release kayo. Because I have considered so much too soon. That's about it. Now, bring me a document which says that there is a formal agreement under the, sabi ko nga, yung good offices ng Norway, guaranteed by the nations giving us the encouragement. Give me a ceasefire agreement. Wag mong lagyan ng hanggang ano lang. And I will release the 130. Pero unahin ko yung matatanda, yung may sakit. Marami sa kanila, yung 70 years old na NPA, umalis ka. Ito, Armalite. Sige, pagkaway ka dyan. Balik ka sa bukid. Wala na, may rheuma na yan. May kidney, palpitation. Pero yung mga hardcore na mga NPA fighter, kalukuhan niya. Nabi ko na, baka kayo na na left, no? This left is just a belief. But you have a government here which says it is the greatest good for the greatest number. Because if you do not follow that ratio and proportion, kung pareho tabla ang komunista partido, pati ng mga liberal, mga yellow, sana, ang tawag kasi sa amin ng yellow sa Bisaya, ice. Ganon ba dito? Ganon ba yan? Dito, yellow rin. Bili ka ng yellow. I really don't know how it came about to be yellow. Natunaw naman. So you want a setup. I recommend the French style. You must have a strong president. It cannot be a parliament now where you wait for the cue from the Prime Minister. Look at Britain. Nung pumutok the first time yung double-decker nila, the Prime Minister had to call the cabinet because it is a consensual thing there, what to do. Ngayon, kung may presidente ka, and he can really address it immediately. You know what I said a few days ago? Na martial law? I do not need martial law. All I need to do is that there is really a lawless violence now going on, which is really true. Pumunta kayo ni Mindanao. And the drug problem. I'll talk about it later. So ganito ang federalism yun. Now, what is governing our relation between the national government and those elected, municipal mayors, governors, congressmen, ang sa autonomy, nakalagay dyan, mayor, governor, yung powers is ito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yung wala dyan, so what about this thing? Could it be decided by the local units or the national government? If it is not mentioned there, the specific powers, it goes to the residual power, goes to the DILG. Ang federalism baliktad. President, ito lang ang power mo, 5 great powers, to call an election, to dissolve the parliament, commander-in-chief. Yan. Ang wala dyan, hindi sa kanya, goes down doon sa local unit. Unless you open in the Philippines, alam mo, prangkahan tayo, I'm not up to anything anymore. Hindi naman ako makatakbo. Sana just ponder on it, sleep on it. Habang hindi mo buksan lahat for competition, because this country is ruled by just a few oligarchs, and they own the power. Kaya ako nagalit doon sa ERC. You know, they fix the rates of how much we pay. Siguro kaya itong crowd na ito is the wrong crowd. Oh, ba't yung mga tao doon sa labas? The bulk of pobre lahat yan. When you give me a corrupt commission, you resign. Ayaw mag-resign, I will abolish your office. I promised you, dito napadaan ako, I passed this place house campaigning. What was my promise? No corruption. I will destroy drugs and criminality. Corruption in my executive department, down to the masisiguro niyan. One day, we will have, nag-adjust lang ako muna, but one day, I will enforce the anti-corruption measure. Ako sa Davao, I'm not trying to pull my chair. Sa Davao, 3 days. Permit, electrical connection. Electrical connection, punta ka naman sa electrician, wala. Tapos, hintuan, 1 buwan na. Tapos, pagkatapos sa electrician, punta ka naman sa bombero. Pipirmahan ng ugok, pero pabilihan ka ng hello, guys, don't. I've been mayor for huwag mo na akong bulayan. Tangin lang yan. I'm preparing because gusto ko yung pagpasok ng taon. Departments, dito sa akin, DEDA. We had a pending application for a railway simple commuter train. Sabi ko yung simple lang yung sa Taiwan, yung una nila. Yun lang kaya natin. Natapos na lang ako pagka-mayor. Wala pang lumabasan nila. Kaya nung na-presidente ako, alam nila. 1 month. 1 month. Kaya si Pinyol, yayabang na, at bakit naman niya sa uli yung Rolex? Bigyan mo kay Pinyol, ilang Rolex ba ang... How about the others? Pwede din, mga coming Christmas. Isa uli niya lahat yan. Bigay niya sa akin, kaya pagbili ko, bigyan ng bigas. Pagkain ko sa mga tao. What's that? Pero ako sa Davao, every Christmas sabihin ko na, alam ko maraming magbigay. Mayor, hindi mo talaga maiwasan yan. Sabi ko, huwag na kayo magbigay sa akin. Ganyan ako bigas. Gusto niyo magbigay sa akin, bigas. So pagkatapos, sige, padala mo doon sa yan. Huwag kayo, bigas o ulam. Napapaiyak ako sa putang inang Pilipinas. Unless you open the essence of the blossoming of economy is actually competition. Kung may-ari isa, dalawa, tatlong pamilya lang po. It's a feudal setup. Why do you think that we have a violent election? Bakit napapatayan yung mga leader mo, pati leader niya, mga tao? Why? Why is it not happening in Japan or America? Because the Philippines is still in the feudal state. Pagka-eleksyon, ang anak niya, scholar ni Kapitan, yung pangalawang asawa niya, inagaw lang niya doon sa sekretary niya. Tubig, daan, saan magpunta? Doon, Kapitan, sakit. Punta Kapitan. Kung kontrapartido ka, wala ka, hindi ka dalhin doon. Pagdating doon sa mayor, leader natin ito, sige. Ganun. So yung mga, wala sila. Yung land bank, ilang beses ko na sinabi, kaya sa dapat si Joy doon sa Malacanang, now you are out of grace. You're welcome to join me. Wala akong tanong. Wala na ako sa politika. I just want the best minds of our country. Hindi ko naman sulo. Bakit ko suluin itong gobyerno na ito? What do I get? Ako, mayroon lang nasyonal na regrets. Pero tapos na yan. Pero yung mga Tornel Lambino, yan sila Dino. Nabihan ko talaga sila. Pati si Dante. Kung pabalikin ako, ayaw ko na. Ayaw ko na talaga. Wala kang ginawa kung tapos putang niyan sweldo. Kilit-lit. 130,000 lang pala. Alam naman ninyo, 2 pamilya ko. Hindi ako magbigay doon. Nandiyan si Inday Sara. Nanununtok yan eh. Sana yung share ni mama ko. Dito may isa pa rin. Kita mo naman ninyo nung pag-inaugurate ko. 2 pamilya. Dito ang side, dito yung isa. Believe kayo. Totoo, di ba? Management lang yan. Sa libog. Ano naman pala? Bakit tayo magbulahan? Sus, katanda-tanda na ninyo. Hindi mo lang alam, ginagawa yan dito. Siguro, itong linya na ito, sabi ka lang 5, mayroon. Hindi lang nila sinasabi ang totoo. Kasi ako wala naman, saan ang punta after this? So I just want everything that is good for my country. Wala na akong I didn't have a political party. It's just a moribund PDP. Gano'n na lang yan kasi nanalo, Bebot Alvarez, nag-PDP. But actually, wala akong makinarya, wala akong pera. Tama ang desisyon ninyo na hindi kayo bumuto sa akin. Wala talaga akong pera. Oh. Ating politika. Sabi nga nung ni Lucy Cruz Valdez, in-interview nila ako, anong makapag-change ng isip mo para tumakbo? Yung tao na the most influential sa buhay mo, nanay mo, sabi ko wala na akong nanay, namatay na, kasama mo, sabi ko, sino? God. Tapos sabi niya, pag God, bigyan ka ng pera, pag ako ang pinili ng Diyos, sabihin ko, saan ang pera mo? Manalo ba tayo ng eleksyon nito kung hindi ito madala ng dasal? Pera mo na. Kaya tama, kaya wala mang pera yan. Wala ba hindi ako sinasabihin na pero wala akong pera, wala akong makinarya, but I won. So, with the 6 million margin to vote. So, anong gawin ko? So, I asked my wife, actually, bakit ako nanalo? I was coming from the cold. Hindi naman ako national figure. Hindi naman ako yung sabihin mo na anak ng artista. Dinaryo mo lang kami, pero nanalo ako. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? Nandito ako yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. No corruption. Yung airport na yan, it will be finished, I assure you, 2 to 3 years. Wala na corruption yan. Matatapos talaga on time. For those really who want to stop corruption, now is your time. Kasi back-upan ko kayo. If you really want to be strict, you want to expose something, do not be afraid. Sabihin ninyo yan. Ang Pilipino kasi, let's have a change of paradigm. Ang Pilipino kasi kawawa. Because hindi ito assertive. Lalo nang yung taga-bukid. Dapat matuto yan sila. Sabi ko, pagpunta yan doon, mahiya pa, tapos magdala kay magbigay pa. Kaya sabi yan ang permit. Now, in the provinces, dito sa aking department, 1 month. Noon, makita mo yan, tag-ilang taon pending. Sige, hingi. Ngayon, kung diskumpiyado ka, baski sino sa inyo dito, I said, I'm through with politics. So let us talk straight. Meron ka diskumpiyado, tapos pinapahirapan kayo, bigay mo yung papel mo sa akin. Bigay ko sa mga tao ko, sige, kayo ang magpaikot niyan. Sabihin lang niyo kung anong kulang. Kung talagang mahirapan kayo, ba't walang mahirap yan sa nasyonal? Even a whiff of corruption, tatanggalin talaga ito. Maski kaibigan tayo. Yang lahat yan, mga bright yan. Baka akala ninyo, ganun-ganun lang yan. Presidential lawyer ko, with all the sartorial elegance, botas yung pantalon, maraming sing-sing, dito. Pero, ayan ang trip na. Tsaka, bright marunong maghanap buhay. Taka lang ako minsan. Ito kami sa Lyceum. Honoris causa ako. Punta nang dumating doon, leather pants, leather jacket. Kung ano kamansal? Sabi niya, there are people really who do not perspire. Ako ang may hyperhidrosis. May hyperhidrosis ako. Kaya I sweat a lot. Pero yun ang ano natin. Now, let us talk about the framework later. Let us just agree for now. Kasi yung iba magsabi, will follow the parliamentary, that's the pure system of Britain. Ayaw ko naman yan because it's a collegial, in times of emergency, catastrophe, calamity, you cannot be discussing there because it's one na sabihin mo cabinet. In case of rebellion, suppression, whatever, you need somebody who would, and that it will be the president. Pero limitado ang power niya. Hanggang dyan lang siya. So practically, parang dekorasyon siya dyan. And it is run by, the government is run by the cabinet. Yun lang. Hindi na masyado tayo kung what type because we have plenty to choose from. Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, France, Britain, and even Russia, Federation. Ang problema, let us agree that this cannot go on. That there has to be a competition. Problem is there is that constitutional 60-40. So takot sila. Ang ayaw ko lang, sabi ko, this I cannot, non-negotiable sa akin yan. Selling of lands. Ayaw ko talaga. And I will resist it. Why? Masyadong mahirap tayo ngayon. We are poor. You allow the selling of lands. China has trillions, may utang pang Amerikano. If they converted into something, ubos ang Pilipinas. I have nothing against China, but I'm just saying that China is rich and it can gobble up a lot of territory. It's not about an issue of sovereignty now, but I simply cannot imagine a situation where a Filipino would be building a house on a land that is owned by somebody else, foreigner. Hindi ko matanggap yan. I cannot even think of it as right. But we have to go federal. At saka yung autonomy must be given. Sino ang papasukin mo? You want to improve your grid? Papasukin mo ang China pa di Japan yan. Bukas, maganda na. You'll have all the energy that you want. How can we progress kung kontrolado tayo? It's a unitary type system invented by the Spaniards. Hindi for control yan eh. Parang hari man talaga yan. Then the Americans adapted really. I really do not know. Itong Amerikano came from a country which is a federal system. Bakit nila hindi binigay? And our history is replete with the writings of Rizal, Mabini, and they were really for federalismo. Bakit hanggang ngayon we are stuck with ang presidente pa pag-appoint sa LTFRB mo. By the way, ang LTFRB, I fired 92. Basta yung regulatory, that's what I do not like about regulations. Kung ano-anong pahirapan. So, ngayon, I place somebody there that, General Ganfante, sir. Alam ko bakit kinuha ang LTO? Naging RD yan sa Davao, sa Mindanao, Region 11. Tan hindi tumatawa yan pati sa akin. Mayor ako, ha? Kaya nung naisip ko, sino bang maisip kong tao na Kung babae pa, beach ba? Wala, galbante. Hindi kaya sila kilala. They just happen at one time. Ganon yan. Now, I cannot, I have to go back to, I'm going to Davao, I'm going home. Let me just, para magkaintindihan tayo lahat. The issue here is my country. You start to fuck with my country, talagang away tayo. Itong droga. Noon sabi ni Santiago, we have 3 million addicts. And that was 2 or 3 years ago. Sa panahon ko nakita ninyo, when I was mayor, talagang stricto ako. And even coming up with a statement that, if you destroy my country, I will kill you. If you deprive us of the next generation, I will kill you. When I became president, same, do not destroy my country because I will really kill you. Do not destroy our sons and daughters. Mess up with their lives because I will kill you. That statement will apply until the end of my term, to the last day. Alam mo bakit? It's not just a matter of NPA rebellion away dito, sporadic and intermittent. This is a constant God. And yung akin, hindi ko binilang yung akin. I'm waiting for the year's end report. And I am very sure that I would have breached the million mark. Place it at 4 million addicts. You are waging a war against my country. You are destroying the most precious things. Ang mga anak namin. Paaralin mo, mag-utang ka pa, kaya nung ako nagtatrabaho, mag-JSIS loan ka pa. Tapos pagkatapos niyan, bigyan mo lang ng siyabo. And it has reached a staggering, horrifying number of 4 million. And then you start by saying na, human rights, may 3,000, 4,000 namatay dyan. How sure are you na kami? Remember, Philippines, that I named several generals in the PNP. Hindi pa rin yung nakuha yan? And even before I was sworn to being the president of this country, marami ng patayan. How could I give the order when I was at it? You review your reports. May nila, umpisa na sila. And when I came there, because of itong natunaw na, ganito yan Yang sa demonstration, wala akong away kay Lenny. I don't want to pick a fight with the lady. Pero, yung demonstration dyan sa mga yellow, ang target niyan ako to oust me. Pero yung mga left dyan sumasali, they would never allow me to go down. Mga kasama namin yan. Yung iba, yung mga tao ni Salceda, nagbabaan na. Sige, magbulaan pa tayo dito. Hindi mga left, never. Ang left nga ang ko dyan Pero yung yellow, you wait for your time. Tapos na And I'm trying my best to put things in order. What is the, ganito yan Ako pati yung mga pare. You follow the rule of law. I will ask you now, what is the role E and the O? R-O-L-E. Madali sabihin, there's a rule of law, ganon. But can we cope up? Saan yung aid ko? Kunin mo nga yung record ko na ano. O, sige. Nandito man tayo lahat. Pagandahan na lang ng aid. Sige daw, be? O, sige. Yung mga gobernador, congressman. Sige daw, be? O. Diyan ka na tayo kay Ulo. Ayan si Loot. Putang inang general na yan ng let's yung tao to. Ayan, Loot. This is the drug industry of the Philippines. Tapos you keep on harping me na violation. Mayors, governors, police, barangay captains. We are a narco-politic state. With the election, yung superstar, yung asawa ni Samson, totoo yan. Nakita naman niyo what was unfolding. Tigo na lahat. Kaya ako galit. Sabi ko sa even justices, do not. My country is on the verge of a failed state. Kasi itong mga ito nasa gobyerno. Ngayon kaya, ayaw kong pumayag na mag-eleksyon barangay captain because itong mga animal na to will win because they have the money. May representative pa dito. Pati mayor, yan. Kung mabasa mo sa... But I am not... Pero binigay ko na ito kay Speaker Alvarez, the Senate President. Sinabi ko, hindi ko ito kaya. Even if you give me a carta authority to kill, I would run out of bullets and time to kill all of them. So, actually, with this number, spread all over the Philippines, including dito sa inyo, you are waging a war against my country. And my orders to the police and the military, go out and hunt for them. Arrest them if possible. But if they resist violently, and you feel that your life is in danger, or the raiding team or whatever, kill them. Kill them. So nasanabi ko ngayon, wala akong pakialam dyan sa International Criminal Court. Wala akong pakialam sa inyo. Dalhin ako sa criminal court. So be it. And if I'm tried and sent to prison, I will rot in prison. Walang problema, matanda na ako. Pero I have to do something. Whether I am right or wrong, legal or not, that will be a proper case of history. But I will not allow my country to go to the dogs. As I see it now, it is really, you are waging a war against my people. I have to do it because I have to preserve the Filipino, the next generation. Marami na masyado yung 4 million. just a matter of 10 dito sa Bicol, 20 sa... Okay. 4 million sa... Wala nga tayo. Alam mo, ganito yan. I was condemned, and I'm being condemned still. Na sana huwag mo na lang pinatay at i-rehab mo na lang. Anak, 4 million po. You know very well that I came into the presidency midterm. I am operating now on a budget that was prepared by Aquino the previous year because the budget next year is being prepared. Hindi to akin. Midterm ako sa year na ito, pumasok ako, alam naman ang bottoms up. Ang naiwan sa akin, para na lang sa MOO, operating expenses na lang ako. Hindi man alam ni Aquino na meron palang, when I declared, lahat, mayor, sabi ko, putang ina, patayin ko talaga kayo. At papatayin ko talaga kayo. Sabi ko, police, umuwi kayo sa mother unit ninyo. Army, umuwi kayo, umalis kayo dyan. O, kita mo. Di naglabasan, pumuntuhan ng krami. Tapos bubulahin mo ako. Mayon, hindi totoo yan. Bakit na? Then, pag malaman ko, you're still at it. Maghanap ko talaga ng kamatayan. Pati sabi ko nga, if you want to talk to me, simple na ako na tao. Sinungaling rin ako. But you know, when we talk about government and about public interest, just tell me the truth. Kung gusto mong patulong, tulungan kita. If it is forgivable. Huwag mo akong bulahin. Kung bubulahin mo ako, ginagawa mo akong gago. Ipapatay talaga kita. Ay na. Ganun ang... So, lahat kayo, kung may kilala kayo, stop. Kasi talagang may orders to the police and military. Destroy the apparatus of this shabu industry. Destroy. When you destroy, not only the laboratory, including the people there. Para wala tayong... You want to file a case against me? Go ahead. No problema. I go to prison, fine. Sabi ko, so be it. Basta sa panahon ko, hindi talaga ako payag. I would not, leave a legacy. Let it be known that during his time, everybody went crazy and he did nothing. Hindi ko ano yan. Hindi ko estilo yan. Hindi ko matanggap yan. So, yan ang warning ko. It's being televised na lahat yan eh. Nagla-live tayo. Kasi baski saan ako, pasunod-sunod yung mga yan. Wala akong ginawa kung maghanap ng mali. Hindi yung mga kikinig. Hindi, trabaho nila. Nagbibiro lang ako. So, yan. Federalism and the problem of drugs. So, nakakaintindihan na tayo. Oust me. Nung nanalo ako, I'll end my speech with this. Destiny. Nanalo ako, wala akong pera. Kaya ako natalo dito kasi wala akong pera eh. Wala akong makinarya. Ba't nanalo ako? So, sabi ko sa asawa ko nga, bakit ako nanalo? Sabi ng asawa ko, your destiny. So, bakit ako nilagay dito ng Panginoong Diyos? I have to do something about it. Now, can I really, truly, honestly state na kung hindi ako naging presidente, lulubog talaga. Lulubog ito ba? So, maniwala ka. Kaya nila? Kaya nila yan. Terorismo yung akin, kaya baliktad lang. I am really terrorizing the... Pagka-drug lord ka talaga, to the last day of my term. Kaya wala na talaga ito kasi it's 4 million, it's a huge. Hindi lang ninyo alam ang pagkabigat ng problema, 4 million. Mabutit na lang mga in-check nagbigay. You know, in China, punta siya dito, yung philanthropist. I'll help you. Pumunta sila doon sa, sabi ko sa military, you open the military. Wala tayong ibang lupa eh. Ang malalaking reservation military, you open your camp and allow them to build the... In 2 months' time, tinignan lang yung lugar. In 2 months' time, nakita niyo sa TV, tapos. See how efficient and how good. Ayaw ba ninyo yung ganon, ang Pilipino? Ngayon, kung yung next generation, puro bugok na, kasi pinakain mo na ng droga. Ganito na lang. I will end by saying this. Who gave you the right in this universe? By what power do you have to destroy my son? Anong kasalanan ko? Huwag na yung lolo dyan. Anong kasalanan ko sa iyo? Na ang anak kong babae na rape dahil dyan sa mga durugista. Why do you have to create a monster against your own fellow human being? Kaya ako hindi ko putang ina ka, talagang hiritan kita. Huwag mong gawain sa akin. Do not fuck with me. Hindi ako matapang. Pero marami na rin akong may mayor ako noon eh. Kaya, how do ito? Now, ask me, what is the growth rate of Davao? I'll give you the highest, 9. Tumama kami ng 9. So, tingnan punta kayo ng Davao. From a backward city in Mindanao. Tingnan, it's clean. You can move around. Because I take it personally nung mayor ako. Pagka nag-ganon ka dito, sinabi ko, huwag ninyong gawin niyang. So now, presidente ako. What is my statement? Same. I'm just protecting self-preservation yan. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 addicts. But 4 million looking for the... Kaya sabi ko sa mga drug addict, pati yung nagpapabili dyan, huwag ko kayong makita naglalakad sa daan. Dadamputin ko kayo. Ayan, para nakinig na lahat ng buong Pilipinas. Kayong, in every city, huwag kayong sa kanto. Yung mga tao, yung mga bata, estudyante, ayaw nang, huwag dito tayo magdaan. So, wag dyan, kasi nandyan yung mga istambay. Kaya ang gawain ninyo ngayon, ginusto ninyo yan eh. I know that you'll have a monkey. Magmamangki ka talaga yan. So, ginusto niyan, kung walang supply, mahain lang kayo ng asin, ubusin ninyo. Pray that your kidney will fail on time. Huwag talaga, makita ko kayo sa kanto, nagdagaran sa bona, pag nadampot ko kayo. Ngayon, pagdating ng yan, sinabi mo man sa Bicol, ganon. Putang ina, istorya mo lang yan. Maniwala ka pala. Of course, ganon, isagot ko sa iyo. It's just story. Better believe it. Because, I said, this is something which is bayan ko to eh. Baski ganito lang ako, taga Mindanao, tatay ko si Buano. Bayan ko to. Huwag kang gumawa ng sisirain mo, kasi sisirain talaga kita. So kayo, pasok kayo sa bahay, mag-lock kayo sa kwarto, huwag kayong pa-istambay dyan sa labas, maghingi ng pera. Ganun. Pag nadampot ko kayo, na i-deliver ko kayo doon kay sa asawa ni Samson. Bahala siya. Siya man ang maraming salamat po.